Hey guys, it's Rita Freecott here from Picked and Polished, where I love to help you create beautiful things for your home on a budget. And tonight we're going to be doing a really fun and simple project that's perfect for you if you want to create for your home, create something to sell in your business, or create for a workshop. Because it's cost effective, it's simple to do, and you can use a few products with Dixie Belle and do a lot of different things with this project. So I'm excited to share this with you tonight. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm gonna try reading my comments tonight on here. And I have a super huge giveaway tonight for those of you that share. I just wanna make sure I can see comments. So I'm gonna pull up my computer, so hang tight. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Here we go. Oh my goodness, today was such a beautiful day here in New Hampshire. All right, it looks like I can see comments now, which is awesome. So if you guys can hear me, we're good. We're ready to rock and roll. So again, my name is Rita Freecott. I'm from Picked and Polished, where I love to help you create beautiful things for your home on a budget. And if you share this video tonight and comment with your favorite, all-time favorite spring color with decor, like your favorite decor color, you'll be entered to win a free online course from me. And it's 5 different farmhouse finishes in a video course that I'm selling on my website. Worth $35, and it includes thrifty tips. So things you can find at thrift stores for super duper cheap and make them look beautiful for farmhouse or rustic decor. So hi guys. Oh, it's so good. I can see finally. Usually I'm trying to stare up at this big screen and it's really hard to see. So I'm going to open up my screen here and see if that helps me pull up some of the comments. Hold on just a second. Usually I jump right in, but tonight I just want to make sure this is working. So definitely share. Hey Ellie, I miss you. I've been meaning to message you. I'm going to message you tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. So all right, so I think I'm seeing the comments easily now, whereas before I'm like trying to squint at my phone and I can't ever see like what people are saying, and it's hard for me to answer questions, so this will make it a little bit easier, I think. So we're gonna be using 3 different colors of Dixie Belle paint as base coats, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to paint these jars. And some of you that may have already done this project, it's pretty simple, but I'm gonna show you a cute variation of just like versus like just plain painting a mason jar. So I have a set of 3, which actually is what I'm going to be doing in my spring or my ice out dine-in sign with garland at Basic Ingredients in April. The adults get to do this, and I'm sorry, not in April, in May. I'm all mixed up. So, so this one is coated in a product called Slick Stick, and this is just a plain ball jar. You can get them by the case for just like $12 or something for a dozen. And oh, Mindy says she just painted jars for the first time. Yay! I'm so glad you love them. So the Slick Stick is a great product to use on slick surfaces from Dixie Belle. Glass, metal, even plastic, what else? Glass, metal, tile. I used it on my kitchen floor to paint my tile. Lots of you guys already saw that project. And so you can use it on glass jars too as a base coat for adhesion to help the paint adhere. So it's not always totally necessary. If you clean your jars with rubbing alcohol or with the White Lightning cleaner and rinse with water and let dry, the paint will still adhere to the jar. It just won't be quite as durable of a finish. And you can also use their gator hide to clear coat at the end, and that will give you a really good, nice durable finish afterwards too, if you so choose. Like if you know you're going to be getting the jar wet, it'll never be good in like I had somebody put one in a dishwasher once, and that was like a hot mess. So we don't do that with painted jars, but they can be wiped off and cleaned with like a damp cloth. So hi guys, I'm so used to looking up that it's hard for me. Like I got to get used to this computer screen that I'm looking at down here. So, so the Ice Out event, for those of you that are wondering, is going to be a sign event. And then our last event at Basic Ingredients is going to be in May, at the beginning of May, the first weekend on a Saturday. And instead of signs, we're going to be doing a set of 3 jars, and we're going to be offering an option for kids for Mother's Day. So we'll talk more about that, like locally. I'll be posting all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so this is a great project. You know, it'd be a good hostess gift too. We start with cleaning your jars, and then I used a base coat of Slick Stick, and then I let it dry. This is 1 coat of Peacock, and you can see the Slick Stick a little bit through after 1 coat. And then this is 2 coats of the Flamingo. Whoops, it's a little bit of glary, but you can see the coverage is amazing. And one thing I know about painting jars is when you do thin coats and you let them dry well in between coats, you'll have an amazing finish. People only run into trouble when they do really thick, heavy amounts of paint, or they don't let the paint dry well in between. And I have my handy dandy hair dryer for that tonight. So, and the hair dryer will speed things up amazingly well. So if you want to ever teach this technique in a workshop, you definitely want to have a couple hair dryers on hand because it will speed up the process like nothing. Like you'll be able to use waxes and different techniques. We're going to be adding layers of color on top of the base colors here tonight. And I'm also going to be showing you what the wax looks like on the jars. And because the wax can be, the Best Dang wax can be gone over with the paint, I'm just going to use it as a quick example, and then I'm going to paint over and show you how to do like a layered, multicolored effect, which is a little bit more texture and interest than like just a plain painted mason jar. So that's why I thought this would be fun tonight. I'm going to start with 3 pretty saturated colors as the base coats. Those are going to be my 3 like different springy color elements, and then I'm going to tie everything together with a white top coat. But the white top coat is going to allow some of the bright colors to show through. So I've got like one color that's going to pull everything together, but the base coats are going to be all different bright colors. So we're going to be working with, my kids helped me pick the colors tonight. We're going to be working with Flamingo, which is a beautiful coral, Peacock, and Plum Crazy, which is one of my other favorite Dixie Belle brighter colors. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some on my tablecloth. I love these tablecloths for my workshops and for just in general, just for, you know, working at home or whatever, because they're waterproof and I can wipe them down in no time. I'm just going to get a thicker brush. You can use a foam brush or a bristle brush or this synthetic brush. I have a whole collection going on here. I have a different one for each color because I'm too lazy to wash in between. So this is my Slick Stick base, and I'm just going to go over, look at the amazing coverage there, you guys. It's so pretty. See if I can read the comments a little bit. So make sure you guys share because I'll be picking a winner tonight, and that winner will get, I will email you the access to my Farmhouse Finishes course, which is on my website. It's only $35. And I'll actually be giving that away for free tonight. It includes 5 different farmhouse finishes, and it'll also include some thrifty tips, some like best tips for thrift shopping and getting some great deals. So you can see how quickly this goes on, you guys. I mean, it does not take long. You can crank out jars in like no time, especially once the Slick Stick base coat is on it, because I feel like it gives it a good foundation to start on. And it just covers really, really well. So, but do you see how I'm not using a ton of paint? I'm just kind of going on light because my second coat is going to cover completely. Let's say I wanted this jar to be like just plain Plum Crazy. I would go over it with 1 more coat and I would be good to go. 1 more light coat. But because tonight we're actually going to be going over these colors with a white, I'm not going to worry too much about getting like the perfect coverage. And I just kind of hold it by my hand, and you know, when I set it down to dry, it may take off a little bit of the paint, but I can touch it up later. It's no big deal. Thank you for sharing, you guys. Hey Barbara, hey Sherry. Thanks for hopping on with me. I know the Plum Crazy is like a really rich, beautiful color. Somebody recently, I can't remember what painter it was, did a combination of this. I'll have to go back. I want to say it was this and like the amethyst or something. I can't remember, but it made this beautiful purple. I saw it on one of the painting sites, I think, or the Dixie Belle site. But yeah, so all these colors can be mixed too, which is nice. If they don't have a particular shade, which they have like 64 colors, but they don't have the exact thing. You can always custom mix something. So then I'm just going to let it be. And if there are any like globs or blobs or whatever, I can always like scuff a little bit when it's dry. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to do my second coat of the Peacock, and I'm going to show you what kind of coverage I get, okay? And Lynn Avery, no slick stick because they are just decoration. Yeah, so like Lynn said, she did 2 coats with no slick stick and it was fine, but they're just decorative. She's not going to be putting water in them for, you know, for fresh flowers or anything, I'm guessing. Because then if you get a little on the jar, I mean, the thing is the paint is so, it adheres so well. You don't really always need, like slick stick is only for super slick surfaces. You don't always need it. Obviously on my kitchen floor, I used it because I was going over vinyl tile and it gets tons of traffic, but you see my paint coat is not very heavy. And I'm using a damp brush, always a damp brush when I'm painting, you know, surfaces like this. Unless I'm stenciling, my brush is usually damp. Or unless I'm dry brushing, I should say, I guess too. So I just kind of go around the edge and see how quick and easy that is, you guys. It's so fast. So now I've got 2 coats on my flamingo, 2 coats on my peacock, 1 coat on my plum crazy. So this one needs 1 more coat. If I were to want, like if I was going for like a super solid finish, I would want to do 1 more coat. But we're gonna go over these colors with some dry brushing with the cotton. And the cotton is like the most stark white that they have. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these brushes in some water. Move them over a little bit. And if I need to, I have my hair dryer to dry that. I feel like when I use my nail gun, it's kind of like the same effect. Like I pull up my hair dryer and I feel like super tough. All right. Vintage Duck Egg Blue. Debbie, that's a pretty one. That's probably one of my top favorites too, because it's like neutral, but it still feels coastal, and it's like just a really soft blue-gray with a little bit of green in it too. Yeah, so make sure you guys share so you have a chance to win my class, my video class. It's an online recorded video class worth $35. And if you don't win, you can still grab it on, it's still on my website for purchase. Okay, I'm gonna set those over there. This one's nice and dry. And I'm just gonna take my, move this out of the way. Just gonna take my cotton and just kind of dab some of it off and just kind of play around with the finish of that. I'm just gonna kind of move it around. So I still want the flamingo to show because I am doing like, you know, like springtime colors. I want it to be a little more unusual and fun. And the paint will definitely hit the high points of the jar. So like it's hitting like the embossed areas. I don't know if I'm using the right word. I think that's the right word. So let me know if you guys have questions, and I will definitely, if I don't get to them during the live, I'll go back and answer them. Just gonna paint, you know, kind of willy-nilly. This is also a really easy technique to teach if you ever wanna, you know, do a workshop or even have like a little paint party at your house or something like that. This is just, you know, less is more type of thing with the second layer. And I'm just going left to right and up and down. And it's just kind of giving it a really unique sort of look, a little bit different than just plain paint. Gives it some texture and some dimension and some character. And like I said, you could just leave it the plain color too if you wanted. So I'm just gonna do these in layers, okay? So I'm just gonna like, you can see, I'm just gonna let this layer dry and then decide if I wanna add another layer. You're better off to go with 2 light layers than 1 really heavy layer and overdoing it with the paint. So I'm gonna set this one aside, and then I wanna show you guys what the white wax looks like over this beautiful peacock blue. I'm just gonna turn my hair dryer on, so hold on just a second. So see how quick that was? Now it's dry to the touch. And now that I know that it's dry, I'm gonna take my white wax You could also do a wash with some more paint and kind of like water down your paint. Georgia says she's late. She's going to rewatch because she has jars to paint too. So you could do, like, I like the white over the white wax too, because it gives it like a salt wash sort of beachy look. So the way that I use the wax for something like this is I just dab a little bit of wax, and I teach this in my workshops. Usually when people come to my workshops, I'll teach like a basic, you know, how to paint. Some people aren't even there yet. So I give them the basics, and then I always try to add like a little special technique for them to take away. So if they decide they want to do a piece of furniture or something, you know, a little bit more involved, or want to do it at home and add a little something special, they feel like they can. So I'm just cross-hatching left to right, up and down. And you see how the wax, because I tapped most of it off, whoops, I got a little flamingo on there. It's a little more subtle than if I were using the white paint. Whoops, I got a little flamingo on my brush by accident. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm tapping it in the wax, and I'm like, I've got barely any wax on my thing. And I'm gonna tap it off, and then I'm just gonna go over it and just kind of brush it on. Right, left to right, up and down. Do you see how subtle that is, you guys? It's very subtle. The other thing I could do is I could just, maybe I wanna do like a heavy area of wax. I could just take, you know, my finger or a cloth and just kind of go around the edge and really kind of outline that area. And that's going to show that a little bit more. So the wax gives like a different, softer sort of feel. So look at that, just with two paint colors or a paint color and wax, you can get like two totally different looks with your jars. And I just love projects like this because you can make them, you can practice different techniques, get a feel for the products, and get different looks out of one project. And I just like the freedom and the cost effectiveness of being able to make a bunch of different looks with a few little products, because you guys know I'm all about keeping things on a budget. And so I really, really like that. And so that's what I would do if I were going to use wax. I could use more, I could use less. It just depends on what look you want or what you're going for. So which do you guys like better so far, the wax or the paint over? And I could go heavy with the wax too. I'll show you what that looks like. If I wanted to go a little bit heavier, I would just layer more wax on. It would still be more subtle than the paint, right? But it's going to still give me some texture and some like layered effect. So now I'm going to try to have this one kind of match, not completely match, but give it a similar sort of finish. So another nice thing is you can go right over, yeah, it does make the jar where it's pop. You're right, because wax and things like that will hit the high points on the details, whereas the glaze kind of falls into the low points because it's a liquid. So now I'm going to go over this with, let's see, I'm going to go over this with a little bit of the cotton, and that cotton is going to be like my similar element in all three of these jars. Not that you have to have a similar element. I just was thinking it might be kind of fun to tie them all in somehow. All right, so I'm going to go over this with my brush and just kind of, and you can go right over the wax with the paint and not even worry about it, which is nice. So see how I'm just kind of tapping off some of that paint. And the other nice thing about this project is if you're going to sell these or whatever, it's cost effective because you're not using a ton of product. And if you're making them as gifts or for your home, it's a pretty cost-effective project. And I also have some little scraplets of cloth and stuff that I can use around the top edges, which will totally make them feel different and kind of stand out. And I may even do a little bit of sanding tomorrow when these are super duper dry, just to give them that last little layer. We'll see here. Yeah, it doesn't take much paint at all to do this project. So you'd still have plenty left over to do a piece of furniture or whatever. So sorry I keep looking down. I'm trying to see where my brush is going here. So I'm gonna let that one sit. So now I've got my peacock with cotton over it and my flamingo with cotton over it. And I can do another layer if I want to. How long will it take the wax to dry? So the wax, well, you see I just painted right over it, but if you work it into the paint a little bit and it's not super thick and clumpy just sitting on the surface, I would wait, like if I were doing kitchen cabinets, it would be a little bit different depending on how they were worked into the surface. But you can paint right over it, or you can, let it sit for a couple days before you mess with it. Let it sit overnight and then kind of buff it out and you'll be good to go. So, and I think it depends on, like, if you use the wax isn't really made to just sit on the surface like in a clump. It should be kind of worked into the surface a little bit, even just lightly. So same thing here with the Plum Crazy. I'm gonna go over that with the white. Where's my cotton? Here it is. And I picked the cotton because I knew it would really pop off of these colors. So I picked, usually when I'm doing like layers, I try to pick colors that are gonna contrast each other. And that's what I tell my customers when they come to my sign workshops, because they want their lettering to really kind of stand out. And you're going to need to pick contrasting colors to have that happen. So that helps them kind of, they get, especially if it's their first sign workshop and they've never really thought about that before, it's nice to kind of point that out. And it helps to kind of narrow down which colors you want to put together. Because two colors can look really pretty with each other, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to contrast each other. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more. I really like the cotton over the Plum Crazy. It is so pretty. All right, so got that. Can you guys see that okay? Maybe a little bit more on the top. What do you think? And be sure you share this video and comment with your favorite spring decor color. And you'll be entered to win my free Farmhouse Finishes video class with 5 different farmhouse finish techniques. And they're all really simple and really great and easy and fun to do, I promise, and cost effective. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the white. And like I said, I like to just kind of work in layers rather than trying to overdo with the first layer. I try to let it dry. This one's already dry. That's how quickly, if you go lightly with the paint, it'll dry super fast. Just gonna kind of hit it again here and there with a little bit of the white. Maybe get a little bit more on there. And then I can go on to the next one and check that one. See how simple this is, you guys? And you could do all kinds of spring colors. These colors remind me of the ones that you dye, you do like the bright eggs with. So like for Easter. Ooh, apricot's a good one for spring. Yes, Dana, this is a really simple, fun project. And again, it's something a little bit different than just painted jars, which those are really pretty too. I've sold a lot of those in the past and done workshops with those, but usually I offer like an ability to add some wax or another layer, and it just gives it like a little bit something extra. I feel like something different and kind of fun. So, all right, I'm gonna do a little bit more on the front. See how I'm just doing this in layers? I let the first layer dry. I'm going back in with my second layer, and that's gonna give you a more like authentic sort of like organic sort of look. I feel like layers are where it's at, you guys. I'm gonna do this one a little bit more, and then we'll look at see if any of the fabric I grabbed is gonna work on the edges. And we'll see what these look like with a little bit of like pretty hydrangeas in them too. And this is a technique you can use on furniture, on any home decor. You buy some old frames at the thrift store, and you can make a bagillion things with them, and you could do this technique on those too. Just see how I'm just kind of haphazard. I'm not staying in one place for too long because I don't want it to look like one spot got over painted and the rest didn't. So there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but like always, when these dry, I'll be able to post pictures for you in the morning too. So then I've got, let's see, so I've got my 3 jars. I don't know if you guys can see those okay. But I love that they're subtle enough. As you guys know, I'm sort of a plain Jane when it comes to color in my house. So I like that these are subtle enough to fit any decor, but they have that little pop of color peeking through, which is really fun. And they'll appeal to a lot of different, you know, people because of that. So I've got these lists like gingham. Whoops, I've got, usually my trick, my money-saving tip for my workshops and for my decor is to buy like this was a shirt from a thrift store for $1 that I got. I buy tearable fabric, so light cotton fabric, like a lot of the men's shirt have that like perfect tearable fabric, like the button downs, or I buy old scarves, like spring type scarves that are like the lighter cotton, things that I can tear easily, and then I'll just tear them into a bunch of pieces. And then I can just have them for bows or whatever. So if I layer them, if I put like, so these, you know, if I buy a shirt for $1 and a scarf for $1, then I've got like probably a full grocery bag, you know, plastic bag of ribbon that I can use. And ribbon's expensive, you guys. So if you can, you know, thrift it and find some cute fabric, or go to a store and buy 2 yards of coordinating fabrics that you really like that would go nicely together and complement each other, and then throw in some burlap or throw in some twine, and then you've got like 3 sets of fabric that you can make a little bow or ribbon out of. And it's just super economical, and why not repurpose and reuse when you can? So I could make little bows for each one, right? Like little tiny bows, or I could wrap the fabric around, like I could do some twine around the edges. Let's see what we come up with here, okay? I'm gonna do I'll do the, what's this? I can't even think. What's this color called? Help. Plum Crazy, there we go. All right, so I'll do some Plum Crazy. Or even old sheets, like if they're in really good shape, like if they're like new. I'm careful about bedding and stuff because I just worry about, like, I don't know. But you know, usually like old t-shirts and stuff, they make great little ribbon for things and bows and stuff. I may even, this one I may just do the twine around it. And then what I can do is I can tie on, look you guys, these are already dry and ready to mess around with. So I could do my little ribbon, my little twine wrap around, and then I could make a little bow with burlap or whatever. I'm gonna just take this here, let's see. And a lot of times I have to pull the strings off, which is the only like annoying part about ripping your own fabric, but it saves so much money, I'm telling you. And then I can use my twine and just sort of tie the ribbon on like that. And then trim it down, you know, so I've got like a small little, almost like a little bow hanging off the side. I probably wasted a lot doing it that way, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just trim this up. It just gives it like just a fun little, like almost like a fun country whimsy sort of thing going on. It's like, it's just cute. It adds a little something extra. And if you don't like, you know, all these colors and fabrics and patterns, you could just wrap some twine around it. But isn't that cute? Did I get paint all over me? No, okay. Good, because I'm not wearing one of my very few shirts that doesn't have paint on it, you guys. Yeah, so this is just so easy, you guys. It's just like, I mean, so easy. And then let's see what that looks like with together with some hydrangea in it. Let's see. And my little hydrangea stems, I love these. They look so real. I mean, hydrangeas are like one of my favorite things to decorate with because you can use them so many seasons. I never get tired of them. Let's see. And then in the fall, when you can get like the dried ones that are all pinky purple, those are so pretty too. So how cute is this, you guys, as a little set? You know, either as to sell, to make as a workshop, or to give as a gift, or just for your own house. It's just perfect. So, and there's so many different ways you can finish your jars. So I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you could share and comment, this is your like cutoff, because I'm going to be picking a winner here in a second. And I'll go back and answer any questions that you have after this live is over. And if you're watching the replay and you comment or tag me, I will definitely go back and answer questions. I try to really, really work hard at doing that. So I'm going to pick a winner. So one of you is going to get my free 5 farmhouse finish videos with thrifty tips. And it's an online class. It's on my website at pickedandpolished.net. And super excited, you guys. I have some big news. April 1st, I think I already said this, we're launching our new WordPress site. And when you subscribe to it, you're going to get a big discount coupon code for Dixie Belle Paint. And you're also going to get, there's something else that we're doing. Oh, the podcast is on there waiting for you. And that's not ready yet. I will be opening it up for everyone to see on April 1st. And I cannot wait to show you what we've got on there for you. So that's my little exciting like thing coming up. I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner for the farmhouse thingamajig. Here we go. Let's see. Close my eyes and pick. Woo! Sorry, that was really close. Nancy Fief, is it Fiefer? I think I'm saying that right. You got the free farmhouse finishes class. Tell me, Nancy, have you already taken that class though? Because if you have, I'll have to pick something else for you. Did you already take the you're in my class, so one of my classes. So I just want to make sure that it's not a double up. But if it is, I'll find something else for you so that it's fair. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. I hope this was helpful to some of you and that you go out and make something beautiful for your home, or to teach someone else how to do, or to sell and make some money. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow night on the Dixie Belle Paint page, 8 o'clock.